Welcome to the dark heart of luxury. Today we unravel the chilling tale of a millionaire's mansion where dreams turned into nightmares. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more gripping stories. River Oaks, Houston. A neighborhood where opulence is the norm, and the air is thick with the scent of old money. Doris Angleton, a socialite draped in diamonds, lived in one such mansion. She was the epitome of grace and elegance, her life seemingly a fairy tale. But behind the manicured lawns and glittering parties, a different story unfolded. A story that was far from the fairy tale it appeared to be. It was a story of suffocating control, simmering resentment, and a love that turned deadly. Doris's life, though adorned with luxury, was marred by the invisible chains of her marriage. Doris, a radiant beauty trapped in a gilded cage, became a prisoner in her own home. The mansion that once symbolized her dreams had turned into a fortress of despair. Her husband Robert, a man of power and secrets, held the key to this cage. His influence was vast, his reach long, and his control over Doris absolute. No one suspected the darkness lurking beneath the surface. To the outside world, they were the perfect couple. But within the walls of their mansion, a sinister reality brewed. This darkness would eventually explode with the roar of a shotgun blast, shattering the illusion of their perfect life and revealing the tragic truth that lay beneath. Doris had always been a beacon of light, her early life filled with promise and potential. She was known for her charm and wit, qualities that made her a beloved figure in social circles. Robert, on the other hand, was a man driven by ambition. His business empire was built on ruthless decisions and a relentless pursuit of success. He was respected, even feared in the business world. Their union was seen as a match made in heaven. Doris's beauty and Robert's power made them a formidable couple, envied by many. But as the years passed, the cracks in their relationship began to show. Doris found herself increasingly isolated. The parties and social events that once brought her joy became mere obligations. Her friends noticed a change, but Doris kept her struggles hidden behind a smile. Robert's controlling behavior grew more pronounced. He monitored her every move, dictated her choices, and slowly eroded her sense of self. The mansion, once a symbol of their love, became a prison. In her final days, Doris's despair reached its peak. She felt trapped with no way out. The love that once bound them had turned into a chain, dragging her deeper into darkness. The aftermath of the tragedy left the community in shock. The facade of their perfect life was shattered, and the truth of their tumultuous relationship came to light. Doris's story serves as a haunting reminder of the dangers that can lurk behind closed doors. And let's go! Doris met Robert in the shimmering heat of a Texas summer. He, a successful bookmaker, promised her a life of luxury and ease. They built a life that seemed charmed. 2 daughters, blonde and beautiful like their mother, completed the picture. But smiles hid a chilling truth. Robert, consumed by his gambling empire, ruled his family with an iron fist. Doris, once full of life, became a shadow. Her spirit slowly crushed beneath the weight of his possessiveness. April 19th, 1997. The opulent Angleton mansion became a crime scene. Doris, shot multiple times, lay lifeless on the white marble floor, her blood a stark contrast to the sterile beauty of her surroundings. The brutality of the murder sent shockwaves through the community. This wasn't a random act of violence. This was personal. The killer had come for Doris, and the killer knew her well. The whispers started immediately. Who would want Doris dead? The police focused on the obvious, Robert. His gambling connections, his volatile temper, and his history of infidelity painted a damning picture. But Robert, a man accustomed to controlling the odds, claimed innocence. He pointed a finger at his own brother Roger, a former FBI agent with a troubled past. The investigation became a tangled web of family secrets, gambling debts, and desperate lies. Section 5. The Brother and the Bookie. Roger Angleton, haunted by his own demons, seemed an unlikely suspect. Yet Robert insisted his brother was responsible, claiming Roger was motivated by jealousy and a desire for revenge. The police, however, were skeptical. The evidence against Roger was circumstantial at best. The investigation stalled, the truth obscured by a fog of suspicion and half-truths. The Angleton family, once the epitome of success, became a symbol of dysfunction and tragedy. Section 6. A Trial of Circumstance. Years passed. The case went cold. The once bustling investigation now a distant memory. The crime scene, once teeming with activity, lay abandoned, a silent witness to the unresolved mystery. The whispers of the case, once loud and insistent, gradually faded into an uneasy silence. The community, once gripped by fear and curiosity, moved on, but the shadow of the unsolved crime lingered. Then, a break in the case. A tip, seemingly out of nowhere, led investigators to a storage locker rented by Roger. The locker, unassuming and ordinary, held secrets that would reignite the investigation. Inside, investigators found a treasure trove of evidence guns, silencers, and a detailed list of Robert's enemies. Each item meticulously catalogued, each piece a potential key to unlocking the truth. With this new evidence, Roger was arrested and charged with Doris's murder. The arrest, a dramatic turn of events, sent shockwaves through the community. The trial that followed was a media frenzy. Reporters and cameras swarmed the courthouse, capturing every moment of the high-stakes drama. The courtroom, packed with spectators, buzzed with anticipation. The prosecution painted Roger as a cold-blooded killer, a man driven by greed and resentment. They presented the evidence found in the storage locker, each piece a damning testament to Roger's guilt. They argued that Roger's actions were fueled by a deep-seated resentment and an insatiable greed, a lethal combination that led to Doris's tragic end. The defense, however, had a different story to tell. They countered with claims of a frame-up, suggesting that Roger was being set up to take the fall for a crime he didn't commit. They presented evidence suggesting that Robert, in a bid to protect himself, had orchestrated the entire scenario. The defense painted a picture of a man caught in a web of deceit, fighting to prove his innocence against overwhelming odds. The courtroom was a battleground, each side presenting their case with fervor. The tension was palpable, the stakes incredibly high. The jury, tasked with sifting through the conflicting narratives, faced an enormous responsibility. As the jury deliberated, the world outside waited with bated breath. The outcome of the trial would not only determine Roger's fate, but also bring closure to a case that had haunted the community for years. Finally, the moment of truth arrived. The verdict was announced, and the courtroom erupted in a mix of relief, disbelief, and raw emotion. The trial of circumstance had reached its dramatic conclusion, leaving an indelible mark on all who witnessed it. Section 7. Echoes of Loss. In the dimly lit room, investigators meticulously combed through every inch, searching for clues that would piece together the tragic puzzle. The air was thick with tension, each piece of evidence a silent witness to the unfolding drama. The courtroom became a stage for a Greek tragedy. Lawyers and witnesses played their parts, their voices rising and falling like the chorus of an ancient play. The weight of the past bore down on everyone present, a palpable force that seemed to make the very walls tremble. The Angleton daughters, now young women, were forced to confront the painful truth of their family's disintegration. Their eyes, once filled with innocence, now reflected the harsh realities they had endured. Each word they spoke was a testament to their resilience, a beacon of light in the darkness that had enveloped their lives. They testified against their uncle, their voices trembling with grief and anger. The courtroom fell silent as they recounted the horrors they had witnessed, their words cutting through the air like a knife. The pain in their voices was unmistakable, a raw and unfiltered expression of the trauma they had endured. The trial exposed the dark underbelly of the Angleton family, their wealth and privilege a thin veneer over a wellspring of pain. The facade of perfection they had maintained for so long crumbled under the weight of the truth. Secrets that had been buried for years were brought to light, each revelation more shocking than the last. In the end, the jury found Roger guilty. The verdict was a moment of catharsis, a release of the pent-up emotions that had been building throughout the trial. The courtroom erupted in a mix of relief and sorrow, the final act in a drama that had captivated everyone involved. He was sentenced to life in prison, the secrets he took to his grave echoing in the silence of his cell. The once powerful man was now reduced to a mere shadow of his former self, his life a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked ambition and deceit. The echoes of his actions would reverberate through the lives of those he had wronged, a haunting reminder of the fragility of trust and the enduring power of truth. Section 8. The Price of Silence. With Roger's conviction, a sense of closure fell over the community. But the question remained, was Roger the mastermind behind Doris's murder, or was he a pawn in a more sinister game? Robert, despite being the prime suspect for years, was never charged. He maintained his innocence, but the shadow of suspicion never left him. He died in 2010, taking his secrets with him to the grave. Section 9. Justice delayed, justice denied. The case of Doris Angleton is a chilling reminder that justice is not always swift, nor is it always fair. The wealthy and powerful often operate by a different set of rules, their secrets protected by money and influence. Doris, a woman trapped in a loveless marriage, became a victim of her husband's dangerous world. Her life, once filled with promise, was cut short by an act of unspeakable violence. Section 10. The shadow of doubt. Even today, decades after the murder, questions linger. Did Roger act alone, or was he following orders from his brother? What did Doris know that cost her her life? The answers, like whispers in the wind, remain elusive. The Angleton mansion still stands, a silent sentinel to a tragedy that shook a community to its core. Section 11. Unanswered Questions. The case of Doris Angleton is a stark reminder that behind the facade of wealth and privilege, darkness can lurk. It is a story of betrayal, greed, and the devastating consequences of unchecked power. And it is a story that, even after all these years, leaves us with more questions than answers. We are left to ponder the nature of truth, the weight of secrets, and the enduring power of family ties, even in the face of unspeakable tragedy.